In this video, we're gonna go over the 10 best things that you can say to women, 10 best frames, 10 best ways to convey yourself. We're also gonna look at the psychology of it, so why it actually works, and then we're gonna give you ways to implement it into your own game. My name is Peter. I teach cold approach. I've been doing cold approach consistently for almost 2 years now. I was a nerd who could never get laid or get a girlfriend, and then I got laid a bunch, got a bunch of cool girlfriends, and now I teach guys how to do the same thing. So let's look at it. You're not bad versus I'm cooler than you. She's gonna know you're frame controlling her essentially. If you say like, I'm cooler than you, and it's also serious. So frame control never works if it's very serious. Frame control has to be fun, has to be relaxed, because compliance is a lot higher when people are having fun, when girls are having fun, they're laughing, they're smiling, they're much more likely to go along with your frame. Cool, so you're not bad. It's just like a fun way, like tease her, like, oh, you're not so bad, versus I'm cooler than you. So they're both sort of saying the same thing, but I'm cooler is much more serious, much more harsh. You're not bad it's like joking, it's like you're not bad, but you are taking the higher frame, and you are essentially saying I'm cooler than you, but the right way. Cool. Okay, so asking a girl what makes you special is not as good as I can't believe you do like X basic activity, you're so basic. So X basic activity could be like matcha, it could be Pilates, it could be smoothies, it could be whatever basic girl activity she does. If you just tease her about that thing, it'll have the same effect as asking her what makes you special. But what makes you special is obviously frame control. She's gonna be like, oh, okay, I know where this is going. You want me to prove myself to you? I'm not gonna do it. I'm boring. There's nothing special about me. Instead, you can tease her on traits that shows that she's basic, and she's gonna want to prove herself to you after that. So if you're like, you're basic, you just like, you just do XYZ basic girl activity, she's gonna be like, no, I actually don't. I'm not basic. Here's like a cool, unique thing that I do. So people are gonna have the urge to prove themselves when you make wrong assumptions about them, or when you just tease them and you're joking with them. So it's a form of frame control, except it's much more smooth, much more likely for her to comply with it. So asking a girl, do you cook? Obviously frame control. You want her to prove herself to you. Versus leading a topic. So the previous two examples were teasing. So this one's gonna be leading. So just leading the conversation in a direction that you like. So I love girls that cook. I love girls that are great at making food, making a nice meal. It's the key to my heart. I just love it. So explaining a topic like that, explaining why you love it, she's gonna be inclined to start going like, oh, actually, I do cook. Like I love to cook too. I make this, and then she's gonna prove herself, fall into your frame, versus like the obvious frame control of do you cook, if that makes sense. So leading whatever subject you like. I like girls that play video games. I like girls that read books. It just shows that they're intelligent, they're educated. So she's gonna fall into that frame if you have value, and she's gonna go along with it. Okay, cool. So want to come back to my place. This is gonna be a lot of red flags on this. Want to come back to my place versus you're just trying to get me into bed. So want to come back to my place is explicitly asking a girl. There's gonna be a lot of red flags here. Not the best thing to say. Instead, you can frame it as she's chasing you. Like, you're just trying to get me into bed. Like, I've seen this before. You're just trying to take me home, aren't you? So like just framing it that she's chasing you, framing yourself as the prize, versus just explicitly asking her. It's not as fun, not as interesting, and much better frame to have. Cool. So do you like me versus why do you like me? I'm bad for you. So do you like me is explicitly asking her. It's kind of needy, kind of low value thing to even say. I don't even think that's a frame or a line that you should say at all. But do you like me versus why do you like me? So she's getting her to justify her position on why she likes you. Consistency. When people act a certain way, they're more likely to continue to act in similar ways in the future due to like consistency bias. So if they say that you like you, if they say they like you, or if they express any, if they act like they like you and they spend a lot of time around you, they're going to be more likely to like you because of the consistency bias. So getting her to justify her position on why she likes you, and then also pushing her away. So I'm bad for you. Like this is a push away. Like when you push people away, they're naturally going to want to close the gap and bring you guys back closer together. Because you create that space, she's going to want to close it. Any human will want to do that. And then also, people want what they can't have. So if you explicitly tell her, I'm bad for you, you're basically saying you can't have me, like I'm bad for you. This isn't going to work. She's going to want you more. just like anything, if you take away a toy from a kid, he's going to want it. If you say like, if you have a sales offer that people can't have anymore, like it's ended, people are going to want it more. So same thing here, I'm bad for you. You can't have me. Cool. So I got a couple more. You're cute versus you look interesting. So you're cute is giving away a lot of power. So you're cute is expressing a lot of intent versus you look interesting. She's going to be, it is expressing intent. Like your intentions are clear. You are, it's a man to woman conversation. This is not a friendly conversation between coworkers. You wouldn't say you look interesting to a coworker. So your intentions are in this, except they're less clear when you say you look interesting. So you're going to buy yourself a lot of time. She's going to be like, okay, what's going on? I look interesting. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Elaborate on that. What do you mean? So you have a lot of time to work there versus you look cute. She's like, oh, okay, I get it. You're hitting on me. That's cool. And her obviously knowing, and then she could even reject you very quick off of your direct intent. But when you say something like you look interesting, a little bit softer intent, lower directness, you're going to buy yourself more time to show your personality, to get to know her versus getting rejected immediately off of a direct intent statement. Cool. So going less direct intent is like generally better game. Cool. So what's your name versus, sorry, I never introduced myself. My name's Peter. So it's just a subtle one, but if you frame yourself as someone that she should already know by saying, oh, sorry, I never introduced myself, my name's Peter, by acting like she should already know you, and by acting like very high status, it's going to convey status, convey value the right way. Versus what's your name is just obviously asking her to like contribute to the conversation, and a lot of guys use that as like a filler. They're not even sure what to say. Cool. So yeah, it's basically that. Want to get out of here? Oh, sorry. I like you versus I'm curious about you. So this is I like you as I'm sold. So this is the buyer-seller dynamic. You are sold. If you say I like you or I love you, to a girl, you're gonna be sold essentially in her mind. She's gonna think, okay, this guy, I have him. I can do what I want. I no longer want him. The chase is over. Versus I'm curious about you. She still has some work to do. She still has some room to work. She can still win you over a little bit. And you're not 100% sold. You're still finding out. So you're the buyer here. You walked into the shop. You're checking stuff out. You're not 100% sold on any girl yet. Okay, want to get out of here versus you can come, but don't embarrass me though. So want to get out of here is directly, you're sold. You're asking her, want to come over. It's not as interesting as framing things, more interestingly, such as, you can come, but don't embarrass me. So this is a much better way to phrase it. Like you can come over, but you still have like some work to do. Don't think you already have me or anything yet. I have roommates, so don't embarrass me. I keep grabbing this because I'm scared this building's gonna fall over. I'm on like the 50th floor. Okay, cool. So you can come, but don't embarrass me though. Like, and then it's assumptive as well. So you can come is assuming, you can come over. It's not even want to come. You can come. Cool. So hopefully that one makes sense. What's your number versus you're actually not so bad. So what's your number means you are sold and you're closing at that point. Versus you're actually not bad is like it's framing yourself as the one who's assessing her. Yes. So higher status. You are in the role of the one evaluating her, and then it's also framing yourself as being like she's won you over. Like you weren't even impressed by her when you first met, but now it's like, oh, you're actually kind of cool. Like you're starting to impress me a little bit. Is essentially what you are saying. So that's even higher status, is to not be impressed at all when you first met, and then have her win you over, and then she's gonna feel more special with that storyline. So hopefully these things make some sense. Click the link below if you want some help with this stuff. Thank you for watching.